Hello! Thank you for joining me for another Bucket of Blood video. It's been a couple of weeks since the last video. This one is actually going to be pretty much everything from weeks 2 through 10. Now, in that time, I fought with sticks, knives, staves, spears, empty-handed, and of course with swords. Now in the swords I mainly fought with the Dao, but I also fought with the basket hilted broadsword. I did get some time in with the two-handed longsword, but it's really only when I see multiple people using theirs. After reviewing the footage from these fights, I've noticed I still have a tendency to plant myself. While I am getting better at the small dodges and using small movements to defend myself, it does tend to leave me in some precarious situations that usually end up in me taking a hit. If I'm lucky, I might be able to score a clean hit, but I usually end up trading with my opponent. I also noticed that while I don't go forward as often as I used to, for obvious reasons, I still have a decent success rate when I close the distance. One of the things I love about these groups is that we're all just a bunch of people who enjoy the fighting and seek to improve. We'll stop and ask each other if we feel like a hit might have connected.
Did you pull back on that down? Did you pull back on that down? No. You didn't?
We try new strategies, and sometimes we even just grab something random and see if it works. That being said, this is probably as good a time as any to talk about the purpose of these videos and the ultimate goal of the Blood Bucket. You see, I started these videos to help push me further into a disciplined lifestyle. And there's a saying in the martial arts world: the more you sweat in practice, the less you'll bleed in battle. I personally want to become a better fighter. So this started out as a personal challenge to be completed by the end of 2026. In this challenge, I want to complete 40,000 kicks. I want to drill a combination 100 times a day. I also want to create a new drill every week. That way I keep changing it up and it doesn't grow stale. My goal is to also have 1,378 fights or spars by the end of this year, which averages out to 3.8 a day. Now, as a Hung Gar practitioner, I also want to run through all of my forms at least once a week. Now, as for the sparring/fights, I've decided that a 2-minute bout or a victory in the case of swords and knives will count towards the goal. The reason for that victory stipulation is because some of the fights can take a while others are finished in a heartbeat. So while I can step into the circle and get 10 to 20 fights in one night, I don't think it should count unless I actually win. That way I have a reason to keep improving and not just only focusing on the quantity. So here you can see my total for kicks, combos, and my sparring. Obviously, I am behind quite a bit. That being said, I think I'm going to let my buddy Mike close out the video with how I feel about getting back into this.